gets to come together and get discounted prices and something that's more inclusive for everybody.
Let the unofficial start of the holiday shopping season begin.
It's the annual Black Friday frenzy, fueling sales and packing shopping malls, but are people still spending like they used to? Good evening. It's typically one of the busiest shopping days of the year.
And if you had any doubt, just check out the packed parking lot at Yorkdale Mall. That's where we find CTV's John Musselman tonight. How's the shopping there, John?
Well, Michelle, no doubt about it. It is very busy here. Every corridor of this mall is jammed, and everybody's looking for a deal. They weren't exactly crashing through the door. Still, there was a solid lineup outside this Scarborough Best Buy outlet this morning with eager shoppers looking to cash in on Black Friday sales.
TV blew up, so kids started to go antsy and gotta appease the masses.
Chris Ida is looking to purchase a new TV. He found the one he was looking for.
$900 plus $1,000. I got it for $730, so it sounds like a good price.
Meanwhile, over at Yorkdale Mall, the parking lot was jammed. Inside, shoppers say they were finding some deals, some as high as 60% off.
Everything I wanted and on my shopping list. So yeah, really good.
Oh, I'd spend at least $900, at least.
But how much do you think you saved?
Probably $500, I would say. Yeah.
I'm jacket shopping because the weather's getting colder outside.
I just bought some stuff from Nike and from Zara. It's pretty good sales.
Arrive early. Our hours are extended today, 8 a.m., which has already passed, till 9 p.m. And we do have nearly 8,000 parking spaces.
A recent survey commissioned by Rakuten shows that 81% of Canadians aged 18 to 35 shop on Black Friday. That compares to 62% on Boxing Day.
To take advantage of loyalty programs, cashback apps like Rakuten, and then you can stack on the good deals that you're already getting.
Retail experts say Black Friday sales roll out sooner now, and they tend to last longer, especially online. For Canadian consumers, there's something else to keep in mind. The GST temporary exemption means some people may be holding off on buying for a few more weeks.
I think on the customer shopping side, we're now thinking about, hey, I was about to go out and spend my money this Black Friday waiting for the deals. Well, now I hear there's not going to be tax starting December 14th. That's 2 weeks from now and a week before the holiday. Do I wait? Is the deal still going to be here from Black Friday? Which discount is better?
What retail experts agree on, with housing costs, inflation, and the cost of living pressures, consumers are searching for bargains. And the advice from retail experts is it's probably still a better time to get a deal now during Black Friday than waiting for the GST exemption. And by the signs of it in this mall, a lot of people here spending money. Reporting live, I'm John Musselman. Sean, back to you.
Thanks, John. Also tonight, shiny new subway cars are on tap for the aging Line 2 fleet. The feds announced big funding to take service into the future.
We have new details in a terrifying rampage. A 29-year-old man suspected in a shooting spree on the 401, arrested and charged in gunpoint carjackings in Toronto.
Tonight, questions and concerns are being raised about whether more could be done to warn residents. CTV's Janice Golding is live with those details. Janice.
Hi, Sean. Yes, there are questions being raised tonight about whether the OPP should have done more sooner to alert the public about a gunman that was shooting on cars along the 401 earlier this week.
Hey, no.
This dash cam video taken just after 5 a.m. Tuesday shows a man brandishing a weapon approaching vehicles along the 401 near Dixie and Mississauga. Police allege he shot at more than 10 vehicles in all.
The glove.
And then Wednesday night, a suspect police say is the same man would approach car after car after car on a downtown Toronto street, firing on 2 people, seriously injuring one before police would apprehend him. Shocking video, but what some are also saying is shocking is the fact OPP did not inform the public of the original threat until more than 5 hours after shots were fired on the 401.
Someone shooting with a gun on the major highways is as significant as you're going to get. So there's no excuse for that not getting out.
The first tweet from the OPP popped up just before 8 a.m., 3 hours after the alleged shooting spree, and only said the highway was closed for a police investigation.
That could be a car pulled over with a flat tire causing a traffic disruption. not necessarily a person with a gun shooting into vehicles.
It would not be until more than 5 hours after shots were fired on motorists that the OPP would issue a public safety alert about an armed and dangerous man in the area, and nearly 12 hours before a press release was released indicating exactly what kind of threat the suspect posed to the public.
Given what was going on, given the circumstances, given the potential for danger and people being shot and killed, I think the onus was on them to get more information out, and certainly much quicker than the methods that they chose at that time.
CTV News approached the OPP more than half a dozen times today through multiple means in hopes of a response, but did not receive one.
I would imagine that the OPP, aside from the investigation itself to capture this particular individual, is going to be spending some time now doing, essentially a post-mortem as to who knew what at what time, who was notified within the OPP, and who made the determinations as to what kind of public alert should be put out.
Safety experts adding it was a miracle no one was actually hurt in the original incident, given just how many shots were allegedly fired. Meanwhile, Troy Dennis LeDrew of no fixed address appeared in a Toronto bail courtroom today. He was wearing an orange jumpsuit, and he appeared very calm when he faced more than 24 charges, including 2 counts of attempted murder, 6 counts of robbery with a firearm, and breach of probation. He'll be back in a Toronto courtroom in December on the 20th. Reporting live, I'm Janice Golding. Now back to Michelle.
Thank you, Janice. And still ahead, could the province be considering buying back the 407, and could it help solve part of the congestion crisis plaguing the GTA? That story coming up a little later in the newscast.
But first, wintry weather has arrived in cottage country. Snow squalls hit Muskoka, resulting in whiteout conditions and white-knuckle driving throughout the region. It also brought the first Muskoka-wide school bus cancellation. Many people pulled out the shovels for the first time this season, and forecasters say they'll likely need to do it again this weekend. And now we contrast that with a live look at the city tonight. Not quite snowing here, but you kind of get the feeling it's not too far away.
It is not too far away, but let's check in with Jessica Smith, who's watching the weekend weather as we build a toy mountain at Markdale Mall tonight. A great night to be inside because it's cool.
It is, and there's deals and there's toys to donate. You know what? It's going to be so much fun. And we are down here at CF Markville. We're doing our Toy Mountain campaign. Lots of exciting stuff going on. But before I get to that, I want to get to your forecast because cottage country seeing snow. The GTA, not so much, but it is on the way for us eventually. We're seeing those streamers off of Lake Huron and Georgian Bay thanks to that lake effect snow, prompting those snow squall watches and warnings. Owen Sound and area could see up to 75 centimeters by the time the weekend's done. The GTA, completely different story, maybe a dusting, but still we're getting into that time of year. Now, temperature-wise, as we can make our way through the rest of our evening, it is a little cool out there. We've got some wicked wind chills. Now, as we make our way through the early part of our evening, it's not too bad. Right now through the islands, about +1, through Pearson -1, tonight -2, but those wind chills are wicked. Coming up, I'll have a full look at your long-range forecast, but we are down here for a very special reason. We've got all kinds of really cool people. We've got a giraffe, not a real one. We've got Jeffrey the giraffe, and we have all the folks down here that are donating toys throughout the rest of our evening because we're building what? A toy mountain! We are going to be here all evening. You can bring a new unwrapped toy down to CF Markville. We're going to help a lot of kids in need this year, I think, Sean and Michelle, and it only gets better as we head throughout the rest of our evening. We have all kinds of fun stuff coming up. I'll have more on Toy Mountain and, of course, your forecast as we step into the weekend. But for now, I'll send things back inside.
What a fabulous crowd at Markville Mall tonight. We have some breaking news from the sports world tonight. The head coach of Toronto FC has resigned his position after just one season. John Herdman joined the team in late August of 2023 after stepping down as coach of the national men's team. Herdman has been named in connection with the drone spying scandal that has already cost the coach of the national women's team her job. He has previously denied having any knowledge of team officials using drones to spy on opposing teams' practices at Olympics or World Cups during his tenure as head coach. In a statement today, Herdman gave no reason for his resignation, saying only now is the right time for him to step away from the club.
We turn to the ongoing effort to address congestion in the GTA.
The provincial government searching for solutions, facing calls to divert traffic or buy back the tolled Highway 407. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris reports.
It's an easy drive on the wide-open Highway 407. Maximum speed isn't an issue. But with brake lights abundant on other GTA routes, the Premier and his transportation minister have been facing more and more pressure to tap into the underused toll highway.
We're always in conversation with the 407 on a variety of issues and measures. Our government's response has always been to find ways to relieve congestion in the province.
But a spokesperson for the highway is explicit. The Ontario government has not engaged in any discussions with us regarding a potential buyback. There is another, some critics say, better option to unclog congestion: paying the tolls of truckers on the 407 to make it a more attractive option.
It can be implemented quickly. It spans the entire GTA. It's lower cost. It saves truckers a lot of journey time.
Isaac's group pulled data from a Wynne government study and determined that covering tolls would push
somewhere between 12,000 and 21,000 trucks a day off of the 401, which obviously opens up space for passenger cars and hopefully reduces congestion.
Last year, advocacy group Environmental Defense put the cost of covering tolls at $4 billion over 30 years.
We concluded in 2021 that it was half as costly to subsidize trucks on the 401 versus building a new highway.
Tolls are higher now, so it would cost the government more, but Isaac points out the cost of those alternatives is up too. The Premier's put the value of the 407 around $35 billion. A former transportation minister turned mayor says residents of his community want to move.
I sincerely hope that in this case the province takes a very prudent and responsible look at all of the options on the table.
Next week, Vaughan City Council will consider a motion to formally ask the province to study buying back the 407 or to run a one-year pilot covering the tolls of truckers. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
All three levels of government are now on board with funding for improvements to the Line 2 subway.
Toronto, we are ordering 55 subway cars. Yippee! Yes, I am so excited.
It's a big buy. A city report says the current fleet of trains on Line 2 is nearly 30 years old, the end of their design life. The city and province had each committed $758 million for replacements, and today Ottawa pledged nearly $1.2 billion over the next 10 years to support the TTC, with most of that cash going to those new subway cars.
Our government knows how important Toronto is. We know how important public transit in Toronto is, and we are really glad to be making this further investment today.
The city says the new fleet will be able to work with an upgraded GPS signaling system that can run trains closer together and more frequently. Daily boardings on Line 2 are expected to jump from 419,000 earlier this year to 661,000 by 2041.
And speaking of the subway, there will be no service on Line 1 this weekend between St. Clair West and King stations. TTC crews will be carrying out planned track work and shuttle buses will be running. There's also a major change to GO train service this weekend. Starting late tonight, Lakeshore West trains will stop running between Union and Oakville GO station. Replacement buses will operate but won't serve any stops between Union and Clarkson.
Demonstrators have filled Yonge Dundas Square tonight.
They're staging a rally in support of the Palestinian people. CTV's Mike Walker joins us live with the details. Mike.
Well, this rally started just over an hour ago, and the crowd keeps getting larger and larger. As you can see, there are about 1,000 people here. They had first taken over the intersection of Yonge and Dundas, and now they are preparing to march through the downtown core. They include pro-Palestinian supporters as well as various union groups who are once again calling for a ceasefire in the 13-month-long war between Israel and Hamas and more support for the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. This rally also commemorating the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people that was established by the United Nations in 1977 to emphasize global support for Palestinian rights that the UN says includes dignity, justice, and self-determination. Organizers of this rally say the humanitarian crisis in Gaza has reached catastrophic levels over the past year. The health ministry in Gaza reports the death toll has exceeded 44,000 people. Organizers of this rally are also also repeating calls for the Canadian government to take concrete action in the ongoing conflict, including a two-ways arm embargo with Israel. Here's more from a rally organizer with the Palestinian Youth Movement.
It was this day in 1947 that the UN General Assembly passed what's called the Partition Plan for Palestine, and 77 years later we see the Israeli state committing genocide on our people, a continuation of how it was founded. But what we've seen over the last year is that the solidarity with the Palestinian people all over the world has only grown. The demands of the people are that they want to see a ceasefire. They don't want to see their governments sending money funding Israeli crimes. And today we have unions, workers, students marching with our community, emphasizing our demands that we do not want to see the Canadian government working with Israel, funding Israel, supporting them ideologically, financially in the crimes they're committing on our people. And we're going to continue to take the streets until we see these demands actioned.
Failed to hold those war criminals.
So as you can see, the crowd here getting larger and larger. Rallies like this one happening right now are being held in other major cities across Canada and the U.S. There's also a significant police presence in the area. As you can see, they are preparing to march. Organizers tell me they will be marching through the downtown core, but exactly where they will be going remains to be seen at this point. Reporting live, I'm Mike Walker. Back to you.
Thanks, Mike. Well, as winter approaches, Covenant House Toronto is expanding the services it offers to youth in the city. The charity-run shelter is officially launching a new winter respite center to help young people struggling to find a place to go. As the temperatures drop, the most current data suggests that more than 1,000 youth are in the city's shelter system each night, and the demand continues to grow.
Our winter respite program is in addition to our regular shelter program that provides shelter to 105 young people each night. Together with the winter respite program, we're sheltering about 150 young people each night. And we support over 200 young people in homes in the community through our community housing program.
Covenant House says it's welcomed 100,000 youth in need over its more than 4 decades of work.
After significant flooding in parts of the GTA over the summer, the province today activated its disaster recovery assistance program for eligible residences and businesses. Officials say it helps cover emergency expenses and the cost to repair or replace essential property not covered by insurance, although usually not damage from sewer backups. Today's announcement covers specific areas alongside creeks and rivers in Burlington, Halton Hills, and Mississauga.
Jim Jessup will take over from Matthew Pegg as Toronto's fire chief. His appointment was unanimously approved by City Council. Jessup will be tasked with overseeing all aspects of Toronto Fire and upholding its mission to protect life, property, and the environment. Jessup is currently the deputy fire chief and previously served as acting chief from August 2020 to April 2022. He officially takes over as chief on January 2nd.
We are following breaking news this evening out of Florida. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's plane has landed in West Palm Beach, not far from incoming U.S. President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. CTV News has learned the pair are expected to meet. This follows Trump's threat to impose a 25% tariff on all imports from Canada. Well, it didn't happen until late last night, but the House of Commons has officially passed the Liberals' GST holiday bill.
Yet, as CTV's Jeremy Charon reports, major questions remain about the rest of Ottawa's planned affordability measures and what they mean for Canadians.
At the King Eddie in Ottawa, there is hope a GST holiday could help boost business.
I think for us, it's a welcome break, and it's great to see our customers that, you know, the price they're going to see on the menu is the price they'll pay.
The first half of Ottawa's affordability package has now passed in the House of Commons.
That's going to make a real difference on groceries, on restaurants, on toys, on kids' clothes, on so many of the things that as families we know add up really, really quickly.
The question now is, what about the rest of the Liberals' plan?
We're going to continue to work with all members of Parliament to support hardworking Canadians, to support Canadians with their affordability challenges.
They've proposed sending $250 rebate checks to more than 18 million working Canadians. But as it stands, the Liberals don't have the support they need to pass it, with both the Conservatives and the Bloc Québécois criticizing it. And now the NDP wants to expand the rebate to non-working seniors, students, and people with disabilities.
I would like to see them reconsider and give it to pensioners.
We're focused on specifically helping hardworking Canadians who worked last year, who need some extra support.
Right now, sending those rebates would cost nearly $4.7 billion, and expanding eligibility could cost billions more. The policy is sparking concerns from some economists about what it could mean for Canada's bottom line.
The Canadian economy really doesn't need additional fiscal stimulus, and there's always that risk of what it will do to inflation and hence monetary policy.
The GST bill is now off to the Senate, where it needs to pass before its rollout just a few weeks from now. As for the rebate checks, it's still unclear how or when the Liberals might try and pass it through the House of Commons. Jeremy Sharon, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada's top court has sided with the government of British Columbia in a dispute with drug companies that could have national implications. The Supreme Court upheld a BC law that would allow the province to pursue a class action lawsuit against opioid providers on behalf of other provinces and territories, as well as the federal government. Several drug companies argued the law oversteps provincial authority. The top court disagreed.
UN officials are urging Russia to stop all attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure one day after wide-ranging strikes.
Since March, Ukraine's energy production capacity has been targeted in waves of attacks, causing foreseeable and wide-ranging harm to civilians. As ever, the most vulnerable, older people, low-income households, people with disabilities, and those who are internally displaced have been particularly put at risk.
According to Ukrainian officials, Russia fired nearly 200 missiles and drones, leaving more than 1 million households without power. Rolling blackouts have become frequent across the country.
In Gaza, UN and aid officials say hunger and desperation continue to mount amid the ongoing Israel-Hamas war, and limited humanitarian aid is making its way to civilians. Israeli figures show the flow of food allowed into the blockaded Palestinian territory has fallen to nearly its lowest level of the entire 13-month conflict.
Lawmakers in the UK have voted in favor of a bill to legalize medically assisted death.
The ayes to the right, 330. The noes to the left, 275. The ayes have it, and look!
The majority vote does not mean the bill has become law, but it now goes on to further parliamentary scrutiny. This follows a passionate debate in the UK's House of Commons, where much of the conversation focused on Canada's assisted dying program.
French President Emmanuel Macron visited the rebuilt Notre Dame Cathedral today as it prepares to welcome back worshippers and visitors.
On est dans un espace incroyable de beauté et d'harmonie.
Macron got a first-hand look at the iconic landmark and place of worship, which has undergone 5 years of painstaking reconstruction work. The world watched in April of 2019 as a fire destroyed its iconic spire and forced its closure. Back outside, Notre Dame Cathedral is still covered in scaffolding and cranes. The public will be allowed back in December 8th.
Coming up, members of the Canadian Armed Forces on a festive mission deploying holiday cheer in the downtown core. Operation Ho Ho Ho. Still ahead.
And I'm Pat Foran. Coming up, it's Feedback Friday. We had a lot of reaction to our stories on rolled back odometers, home renovation projects that have gone wrong, and more music fans are still hoping to get their money back after being caught in ticket scams. Feedback Friday is just ahead.
And it's been a very seasonal end to the work and school week as we get ready to say so long to the month of November and welcome in December on Sunday. But it is going to get cold as we head throughout your weekend. Coming up, I'll have your full forecast. And make sure you stay with us. We have another full night of great shows for you right here on CTV. We're down here for a very special reason. We're down here for Toy Mountain. I'm joined now by Kelly from Markville Mall. Talk to me about why it is so important to give back this time of year and how long you guys have been involved.
Yeah, it's at CF, giving back is core to our values. And on behalf of Cadillac Fairview and CF Markville, we're very pleased to be part of the Toy Mountain event. We've been associated with the Salvation Army for the past few years, not only with the Toy Mountain event, but also the Kettle campaign. And with that, we've been honored to be part of that.
I know you guys have lots of donations, but you've also got, we love these things, these massive checks. You guys are making a donation. Talk to me about it.
Yes, we're proud to provide a donation to the organization for $10,000. And on behalf of Cadillac Fairview, it's great to be a part of this, and we do this to transform our communities for a vibrant tomorrow.
Listen, it only takes one person to make a difference, and you guys are doing a lot. Coming up, we'll have more on Toy Mountain, more on your forecast, and we're building a really big Toy Mountain! That's what I'm talking about. All those details after the break.
We had a lot of reaction to our recent consumer stories on Canada lacking a lemon law for car buyers and music fans getting caught in ticket scams.
Others tell us they've also had problems with home renovations and purchasing cars with rolled back odometers. Here's Pat Foran with Feedback Friday. Pat.
Thanks, Sean and Michelle. Many people try to save money buying used cars, but you have to be careful you don't get one with a rolled back odometer. It happened to an Oshawa mother buying a van for her family, and other viewers say it's happened to them too.
I panicked. I started crying.
Mackenzie Jordan wanted a minivan and found one for sale on Facebook Marketplace. The odometer said it had 196,000 kilometers, but not long after, she found out it had been rolled back almost 100,000 kilometers. When she messaged the seller, he wouldn't respond.
I tried contacting him. I was blocked. My partner was blocked.
Sophia told us we bought a used Volvo with 190,000 kilometers and found out it actually had 320,000. We're taking the seller to small claims court. This Whitby home has been under renovations for more than a year, and Premila Lobo and Rajesh Bhatt say the project is at a standstill. After paying $175,000, they were shocked to be told much of the work that has been done hasn't been paid for, and they owe almost $100,000 more.
It's our worst nightmare. We're not going to ever be able to recover from this.
Sukde told us, I had a major reno that cost $500,000. The contractor took 95% of the money, wrecked my home, and didn't complete the job.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
Taylor Swift has come and gone from Toronto, leaving many lasting memories for fans, but many others were left heartbroken after being caught in ticket scams.
I was just scammed. I mean, I was embarrassed.
There are now calls for an overhaul of the way concert tickets are sold. Jason wrote, my sister and 11-year-old niece found out their tickets were fake. Canada needs to fix these laws. So sad, she hasn't stopped crying. Peter Sobolski was excited to pick up his 2025 Kia EV9, but after he got it home, he couldn't drive it.
You can't put it in reverse. You can't even put it in neutral. It stays in park.
After the SUV was in the shop for a month, he said he wanted to exchange it for another vehicle or get a refund, but there is no lemon law in Ontario that allows for that. Zubair told us, I purchased a 2024 vehicle with multiple reoccurring problems. I fear it's a lemon. However, they will only repair it and not replace it.
And the U.S. has lemon laws, so if a new car has to go back to the dealer 3 times for a problem that can't be fixed, they must give you a new vehicle or a refund. Quebec is the first province in Canada to bring in a similar lemon law last year. On your side, I'm Pat Foran.
If you have a consumer story idea, email us at alert@ctv.ca.
Our mission to build a toy mountain takes us to CF Markville tonight.
And on Black Friday to boot, where no doubt shoppers are scouring the stores looking for deals as we speak. Let's bring in Jessica Smith, who's among the crowd. It looks real busy there, Jess.
It is busy for a number of reasons. Obviously, it's Black Friday. People are getting ready for the weekend, but they're here because of Toy Mountain, Sean and Michelle, and everyone's so excited. But I got to get my job out of the way first. I know. I'm here for Toy Mountain too, but we got to talk about your forecast. There are some parts of Southern Ontario seeing upwards of 75 centimeters of snow by the time the weekend is done. The GTA, though, not so bad. So if you want to come off and drop a toy, you absolutely can. Right now, we're sitting at -1 in the city of Toronto, but it feels much colder, and we're tiptoeing into that time of the year where you need all the layers. Now, tonight, tonight dropping down to -2. It'll feel like -10. We're holding on to cloud cover, but the flurry activity is on the way before the weekend is done. Into your Saturday, a little sunshine, but the cloud cover holds on. We'll sit at +1, feeling like -5, and everybody feeling the chill. Now, it's not a major system making its way through, but we are looking at lake effect snow thanks to a breezy westerly wind right throughout your weekend, prompting those snow squall watches and warnings in areas towards those eastern shorelines of Lake Huron and Georgian Bay. So take care if you're driving this weekend. Now, we are looking at the chance of maybe a little bit of flurry activity tonight, but the bulk of it holding on far north of us here in the GTA. As we head through the start of our weekend, it's not going to be too bad, but you're going to need a couple of layers. So come on down to Markville Mall, get your layers, donate a toy, and you'll be all right. Now, as we head through the rest of our evening, a few clouds, but the bulk of that snow staying again towards Owen Sound, Kitchener, and north of Peterborough. Into your Saturday, again, it's not so bad if you're staying in the GTA, but if you're traveling a little bit further west, you're traveling into snow. Stepping into your Sunday morning, it starts off not too bad, but that flurry activity trickles down to the GTA and to Toronto proper, so it will impact your commute, but it's not a ton of snow, so that's good news if you don't have those winter tires on just yet. Heading over the next 7 days, well, we step into the month of December on Sunday, if you can believe it, and after that, we're holding on to a fairly seasonal forecast. A little sunshine Monday and Tuesday, and then it gets a little messy as we head in towards, well, the middle of next week. But we're here for a very special reason. We're talking about Toy Mountain, and I want to give a shout out to a few people that have made some massive donations. First, we have GameStop, Toys R Us, Chat Time, and Space Savers, and also the Markham Fertility Clinic. They've got lots of really great donations. They got bags of stuff, and we also have Giordano. They're bringing some really cool stuff. I'm seeing bags of toys. I want to talk to one person in particular, though. Sapna has come here with a massive posse of people, and I really do love it. Talk to me about what inspired you to bring your family from what feels like all over the province.
We just wanted to make sure that everybody out there had a great holiday season and every kid got a toy. So we brought all of our friends and family with us to make this an annual tradition.
I feel like that's so special because you get all the different generations involved. They've got squishy toys, they got toys for kids of all ages. What inspired you to want to start this? And I know it's a big task to undertake to get all your friends and family together.
I think it's just making the season a special one for everyone. I think sometimes we forget that when we're opening presents every season, so it's nice to be able to share that with everyone.
I really do think it's special that we've been able to gather so many people from the littles to the more mature at heart coming together to celebrate Toy Mountain. We are here right through to the end of December, just about. You can come down to CF Markville. There's a toy box over there. You can donate all month long, and we want to make sure that you have all the information. You can visit toymountain.ca for more information on where we're going to be throughout the Toy Mountain campaign, because it's not just today. We have lots going on throughout the entire month. Thank you so much for your generous donation, and to all of the fantastic sponsors who have come together to help make this happen, because we're building a what? A toy mountain. I'm sorry, that was not enough, guys. That was not enough. We're building a toy mountain. See, I felt that one in my bones. Listen, we have so much more coming up throughout the rest of the show. Yes, I'm here to do my job and do the forecast, but I'm really excited about Toy Mountain. We've got giraffes, we've got the Salvation Army, we have all these amazing sponsors, and we're going to do so much throughout the rest of the hour. But for now, I will send things back inside to Sean and Michelle.
Thank you. Look forward to it. We'll see you shortly. Also ahead, the numbers are in, and the Eras Tour was a big hit for the local economy, but just how much? We'll have those details after the break.
The Princess Margaret Home Lottery absolute final deadline is midnight tonight. Taylor Kay with you, and I'm at the absolutely gorgeous King City Show Home, part of the $7.4 million grand prize, which includes $500,000 cash. Ramona Oss, VP of Lottery, talk to us. Tell us about the other prizes as well.
Oh my gosh. Well, you talked about one real estate prize. We also have a $2.4 million grand prize, includes a beautiful show home in Georgian Bay and $50,000 cash. Plus, we have over 16,000 prizes valued at more than $20 million.
And 50-50.
And of course, the 50-50 grand total right now is over $6.1 million. The winner takes home more than $3 million. Don't forget to add on to your home lottery ticket.
And there's so many things that you can add on. Again, get your tickets, princessmargaretlotto.com, and the phone number?
1-866-631-1234. All funds support life-saving cancer research.
Again, absolute final deadline, midnight tonight. We're saying hello from your home, possibly, princessmargaretlotto.com. Get your tickets.
The life-changing work at Toronto's Hospital for Sick Kids doesn't stop over the holidays.
It's why members of the Canadian military carried out a very special mission today, delivering festive cheer to the staff who give so much to help their young patients. CTV's Beth McDonnell reports.
A friendly wave and festive thank you, all part of Operation Ho 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 at SickKids Hospital. Dressed in elf and Santa hats, Canadian Armed Forces members traveled from CFB Borden near Barrie to share a cup of hot chocolate, cookies, and some good conversation with healthcare workers.
Part of our service to Canada is looking after our children as well, and without your staff, without this institution, we wouldn't be able to do that. And so we have members whose children are also here on a regular basis.
Chantal Chung's job involves asthma and allergy testing with participants. Work just like that of doctors and nurses that doesn't stop over the holidays.
I'm sure they also are working 24/7 nonstop, taking no breaks. So we really appreciate, these two communities coming together, and there's a lot of similarities, there's a lot of differences, and it's just so nice to everyone get together and connect, and their kindness of bringing hot chocolate and cookies for our staff, it means so much to us.
CFB Borden's tradition of giving back at SickKids dates back to when the unit worked out of the former CFB Downsview.
A lot of it has to do with building that community relationship and understanding that SickKids is the closest SickKids hospital to Camp Borden, to Toronto, and really that connection is important. We're happy to see this turnout. I think it's more than I expected.
A sweet mission, bringing out appreciation for the staff who make SickKids possible and Canada's armed forces.
It feels very good to see them here. I was very happy. I thank them for their work, for their service.
It's really special, and it's special to actually have a conversation and thank them for their services.
They work really hard, and we don't often get to see what they do outside of air shows. So yeah, it's really fun to have them here with us during this holiday season.
Operation Ho 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 has been running for many years. Each year it tends to look a little different. This year it's all about the healthcare workers. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
One of the city's biggest holiday traditions returns tomorrow evening. The giant Christmas tree in Nathan Phillips Square will be lit at 6:40 p.m. during the cavalcade of lights. Over the past 2 weeks, the white spruce tree there has been decorated with 500 ornaments and thousands of lights. As part of the celebration, there will be performances and a DJ skate party. Queen Street West will be closed between University and Bay Street from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. tomorrow for all the festivities.
Well, the numbers are in, and Taylor Swift's Eras Tour in Toronto certainly gave the city an epic economic boost. And we're now getting an idea of just how much. According to payment services provider Moneris, spending in downtown Toronto increased by 45% during the 10 days surrounding Swift's visit. The biggest spending happened on the fourth show, November 21st. Among the top spending trends, a 49% rise at clothing stores and a jump of 102% for accessory and specialty stores. International spending also rose by nearly half, 48%.
After the break, record high Canadian beef prices. Why your wallet is taking a grilling at the grocery store.
Updating our top stories, we're following developing news out of Florida this evening, where CTV News has learned Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to meet with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. The PM's plane landed in West Palm Beach ahead of the expected meeting. It comes in the wake of Trump's threat to impose a 25% tariff on all Canadian goods when he takes office in January.
Someone shooting with a gun on the major highways is as significant as you're going to get. So there's no excuse for that not getting out.
Provincial police are facing questions after an hours-long delay in notifying the public about a man shooting at vehicles. That happened along the 401 in Mississauga early Tuesday morning. The suspect was arrested after a similar incident in Regent Park on Wednesday. The OPP haven't commented.
Toronto, we are ordering 55 subway cars.
And the federal government is joining the city and province in pledging funds for new subway trains. For the TTC's Line 2, that is. A city report says the current fleet is nearly 30 years old and at the end of their design life. The mayor says the new trains will also set the stage for an upgraded GPS signaling system and more frequent service.
Remember to keep up to date day and night at ctvnewstoronto.ca and by downloading the CTV News app. And if you ever have a news tip, photos, or video or breaking news, let us know.
On the markets, the Canadian dollar traded at 71.44 cents U.S., up just under 1/10 of a cent. Western Canadian Select Oil, 55.94, that was down 1 cent. And the TSX Composite ended at 25,648, up just over 104 points.
The Business Report is brought to you by Canadian Western Bank, the bank built for business.
As we head into the holidays, a typically busy season for butchers could be impacted by an ongoing increase in the cost of meat. The beef farmers of Ontario say beef and cattle prices are at record highs, while inventory is at its lowest level in decades. Food industry experts have cited factors like higher feed prices, higher interest rates, and reduced margins for farmers.
Health Canada has ordered a recall of some cucumbers due to possible salmonella contamination. It involves whole cucumbers sold by sun-fed produce, that is, in either black crates or cardboard containers. They were sold in October and November in Ontario, Alberta, BC, and Saskatchewan. Salmonella can be fatal in young children or seniors. Anyone with them should return them or toss them.
The wait is almost over. The Toronto Scepter is set to take the ice for their season opener tomorrow. The women's hockey team will face off against the Boston Fleet tomorrow afternoon, and they'll do it at Coca-Cola Coliseum. Toronto is coming off a loss in the semifinals in the PWHL playoffs to Minnesota. The team will also be wearing their new royal blue and gold uniforms, which were unveiled in the offseason.
I think it's huge. I think all of last year the fans were really hungry, and us as players were also hungry to, have a team identity, have jerseys, have merchandise that, had a logo, had a team name.
Especially with playing in Coca-Cola, I think that all the girls are really excited to get the season going. Playoffs was so amazing in that building last year, and it's pretty cool to say, although Mattamy was amazing, that we outgrew it in the first season. So I think just performing and playing in front of such an amazing crowd will be so exciting, and we're hoping to put on a great show.
Puck drop for tomorrow's game set for 2 p.m.
The Raptors are back at home taking on the Miami Heat. Toronto's coming off their first road win of the season on Wednesday, defeating the New Orleans Pelicans by a score of 119-93. RJ Barrett had 22 points and 11 assists for the Raptors in the victory. Tonight's game is set to get underway at 8 o'clock.
And Austin Matthews says he will return to the Leafs lineup tomorrow. The captain has missed the last 9 games with an upper body injury. The Leafs won 7 games without Matthews in the lineup. 6 other forwards, including Max Domi and Bobby McMahon, are expected to remain out. The Leafs take on the Lightning in Tampa tomorrow before returning to Scotiabank Arena for a 3-game homestand. Jess.
We are down here at CF Markville kicking off another Toy Mountain campaign. We have lots of donations. Sapna's back. We've got Farah as my assistant. We're going to help open the door here and make another donation. And don't forget, you can scan the barcode, guys. Even if you're not coming down physically, scan that barcode. You can donate online. Coming up, we'll have more from Toy Mountain down here at CF Markville. We got lots of donations, lots of great people, adorable babies, all the fun stuff. That's all coming up after the break.
Tonight, the money matters at play this Black Friday.
It was empty. There was no one here.
It was fantastic. We had a great day. People are just really watching their money this year.
What's the verdict from bargain hunters as the holiday shopping season kicks off in Canada? Later on CTV National News.
And a reminder, the CTV News at 6 podcast is available as a download every weeknight. And a special shout out to those of you listening to the newscast live on News Talk 1010.
6, a holiday season scam alert.
I had $1.50 left in it, but I never used it before.
How to make sure your thoughtful gift
does it look like a sticker over the barcode
hasn't been swiped. Monday on CTV News at 6.
Well, the malls are busy places on this Black Friday.
And at CF Markville, we're celebrating the season of giving as we work towards a Toy Mountain. CTV's Jessica Smith is leading the charge tonight, and we can hear the band. Jessica, how you doing there?
Listen, I love a backing soundtrack for all of my live hits, so I might have to hire them to be with me all the time. But it has been fantastic down here at CF Markville, and the forecast is really agreeable, at least here, because I feel like the closer you go to cottage country, the messier it gets. But we're looking at lake effect snow impacting our communities along those eastern shorelines. -1 right now, feeling like -8, and it's a little fresh, but we are heading into December after all, and that begins on Sunday with a chance of flurries for us here in the GTA and throughout the downtown core. But as we settle into the month of December, listen, we're getting into that wintry spirit, and we're down here. I want to talk to Captain Ron from the Salvation Army here in Markham. Talk to me about why this campaign means so much to your community.
Well, this is just such a wonderful program because families are making impossible choices this year. Families are struggling to make ends meet, and then to find toys for their children, they're really struggling. So to find a toy under the tree at Christmas time just means so much to them. And not only that, it helps us support families throughout the year as well. And Markham has just been so generous. It just blows me away when I see it.
It's a special community here, and I have Jalen and Kendrick. You guys are going to make a donation live on air. I see Star Wars in here. I see a couple other things. Do you guys want to take the toys over to the Toy Mountain for me? There you go, all set. Listen, you can visit toymountain.ca for more information, or send us your pictures of you making a donation at toy.mountain@bellmedia.ca, or tag us on social media, CTV Toy Mountain. Can I get a fist bump? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Bye, guys. We'll send it back inside. Look at that.
Bye. Thanks, everyone. Oh, so many toys. He's kicking it with his feet. Take care. Bye, Captain Ron. Bye. That's it for us, but you can join Heather Butts tonight at 11 for CTV National News, followed by Zoraida Allman, who has your next local newscast at 11:30.
In the meantime, our coverage continues anytime on CP24 and online at ctvnewstoronto.ca.
For Jess Smith and the whole team, thanks for watching and have a great night. We leave you with some seasonal sounds from Toy Mountain.
Good job.